of Ghana that a number of taxes, including many that were temporarily introduced by the then NDC government to stabilize the economy, would be scrapped should they be elected into power. In unusual populist rhetoric, they characterized these taxes as nuisance taxes, in that they had very low revenue yielding and they were stifling the private sector growth, as indicated in the quote above by His Excellency the Vice President. Ladies and gentlemen, another populist move, tax cut. Upon assumption of office in 2017, after winning the 2016 elections, the NPP government reiterated in their maiden 2017 budget statement and financial policy that the so-called nuisance taxes have to be scrapped because they impose a significant burden on the private sector and on average Ghanaian. They further stated that the aim of the government was to shift the focus of the economy from taxation to production. In March 2017, the finance minister in his presentation to Parliament announced that some tax handles has been abolished. To reiterate, the 2017 tax measures blatantly overlooked a number. The first one is that the NPP's own extravagant expenditure promises, impact of the proposed tax cut on tax revenues, given the impact of the global economic downturn on sub-Saharan African countries, some of which went into recession between 2014 and 2016, a situation that Ghana indeed avoided. Hence, it was merely fanciful and populist rhetoric to assume that tax cut is in a recovering global domestic economic environment would immediately spur or accelerate private sector operations and economic growth. In turn, it was amateurish to translate this situation into increased revenue to cater for shortfall in removing part of the temporal taxes and a gargantuan increase in expenditure from the campaign promises. Against this background, we wish to make the following observation. The first one is that it is unthinkable and naive for any economist to assume that cutting or worse still, eliminating taxes concurrent with expansion in expenditure in a small open economy like Ghana with a developing private sector would immediately translate into an economic growth and increase tax revenue. Hence, in 2017, not even the increased petroleum revenue from additional crude oil and gas produced, as well as the recovery in oil prices, has been able to take care of the overall shortfalls, revenue shortfalls. In essence, the institutional and structural rigidities of the Ghanaian economy will suggest to any economist that the nexus or the relationship between tax cut, economic growth, and tax revenue are more likely to be inelastic, meaning that a tax cut will spur economic growth and consequentially increase tax revenue. However, the increase in tax revenue will not be enough to offset the loss in tax revenue resulting from tax cut. This is to say, economic growth and tax revenue response to tax cut will be insignificantly small, and the effect can be permanent over the medium term.